Hello everybody, Ben Rogers here, the Raptors Digest, reacting to the Toronto Raptors 102-96 loss to the New York Knicks, Ryker, and we just gotta come out with it from the jump because it's gonna be the only thing people talk about, and to some people, this moment could be the DeMario Carroll Gold Star Award, certainly. And to some people, this moment could be the balloons flying, everyone's excited. I don't know what the chat's gonna. I'm excited to read the chat in this one, but Ryker, we have to talk about Pascal Siakam down the stretch of this game because that is tough. Just a tough situation for a guy that struggled down the stretch this season.
If there was any doubt whatsoever that the Toronto Raptors are trying to tank, I don't know if you could pick out a better play than a 3-versus-1, 14 seconds left, no shot clock, fast break opportunity to tie or win the game, and to double dribble. Then when is the last time you saw a double dribble call in the NBA? I don't remember a single one this season. There was actually two. Reggie Bullock had one on a fast break as well. But Pascal Siakam, Mr. Anti-Clutch, he's being hated on for his inability to close games, to miss shots, to not be able to win, not be able to tie, and then tonight,
Thank goodness.
not only to not get a shot off, but Ben, to double dribble. I think you got some confusion of the animations here. Are you still in with us?
Yeah, no, like last podcast, I had all of them plugged up and I didn't take them back down. It was late, so they all just spammed at once. But Ryker, while you said that rant, we had a super chat from Peasant Plays. He's been all over the super chat for a while now, and he said, I told you yesterday that we need to give Scary Gary Pascal Siakam's salary, and honestly, after tonight, after how clutch Gary Trent Jr. has been to this team, I don't want to jump on the Siakam slander bandwagon in terms of his play. He's been good lately, but my goodness, that is a tough look.
But the game, they were down 4. Gary Trent Jr. was wide open on what I will basically call elbow corner, whatever that sort of wing spot is, but a little bit deeper towards the baseline. Only 12, 15 feet from the basket, missed a wide open jumper. So it's not like he's extraordinarily clutch. He has had very clutch moments in this
game was over at that point, right?
Yes.
Trent, he was open on that wing. You could see him there with the hands ready, cocked back to take that jumper up and let it fly. He's been on such a roll with the Toronto Raptors, and Siakam, he knew it too. He knew it. He looked at him, he picked up the ball, and they said, whoa, I have a layup, right? So he should have just taken the layup straight up in the first place, but Gary Trent's gravity, that motion, he knew it was coming, so I don't know. It was a tough situation, but we have a lot of people saying takes, Ryker, and we got a couple more super chats. So Nisha Seth, another guy, it's a goat in the super chat, saying, I hate how Gary Trent Jr. touches go down when Pascal and Lowry on the floor, and that is certainly the case, and I think Fred VanVleet could also be lumped into that as well, and maybe he's just getting acclimated to the new system. The guys are getting used to Trent being in there. Before we talk about the second super chat, do you have any takes on that, Ryker?
You could almost make the same comment for Malachi Flynn. Now, he didn't stuff the box sheet like he did over the last couple of games. I believe he had 20 in his last one. Yeah, only 6 points, but his ball handling looked pretty good. His pick and roll offense looked fantastic. I've never been a proponent for the combination 1-2, both being point guards. Now, obviously, there was a championship run where that worked, but Ben, ever since, and especially against how much size of this New York Knicks team seemingly has, I didn't love it, but I definitely agree with Nisha Seth's Gary Trent Jr. take.
Yeah, for sure. We got more takes coming. The super chats are coming in hot early, Ryker, and Champion Gold Gaming with another super chat saying Siakam is we don't want to bash on Siakam too much, but he wants to trade him for a jar of LeBron sweat. Ryker, right now, would you trade Siakam for a jar of LeBron sweat?
No, but you might as well you said that Raptors Reddit, or obviously not official reports, but somebody proposed a trade for Siakam and Boucher. You might as well pitch that out here. If he's saying LeBron sweat, you might as well give an equally bad trade proposal.
Well, if the Raptors stay bad, Ryker, we can't just give away all our content. Our content farm of Bleacher Report random reactions to trades, but we'll say it here now. But we have 2 more super chats coming in. People are coming in hot with the super chats. Bembry, we'll go through those before I bring up the Boucher Bembry or Boucher Siakam trade. But Bembry played 21 minutes and produced 1 board. Yeah, that's tough for a guy that's supposed to be your hustle guy. Hustleman Chap is now signed to the Portland Trailblazers, and peeped Blazers Reddit. They're pretty hyped on him. You said looked like you had a point on him.
I had a point to be, well, he only had 1 rebound, but you have to remember. Oh my. Freddie Gillespie only had 1 rebound. Uh-oh. I was going to say, Bembry only had 1 rebound, but we now have 2 bigs, Gillespie and Khem Birch's first game as a Toronto Raptor. So we'll get into that in a second. You might as well read out the final super chat, Ben.
Yeah, commentators make so many excuses for Siakam. That's definitely the case. And we just don't like it when they're making excuses throughout the season. So shout out Nisha Seth. We won't play the animation too much because they're coming in a spam. And Peasant Plays, bringing up the Girth SB. I touted that nickname on the last podcast. He's a girthy guy. He's out there, Riker. Oh. We didn't get your take on Gillespie in the last podcast. What are your thoughts on his just size out there on the court?
He definitely has size out there on the court. I definitely think that Khem Birch might become more of a rotation player than Gillespie, but we'll see what happens. I think we'll get into them in a second. Yeah. If while we're on the topic of just bringing up the comments, I did want to say that there was a really funny one I read at the beginning, and if I can pull it up in about 5 seconds, then I'm going to say it. Well, but I don't think
JD28 said we need birthday P back, and that's facts, because when we brought out the balloons for Spicy P, he was balling out on his birthday, came out, high energy, high mobility and stuff, so definitely agree with that take right there, but people need to chill. Gillespie, he's a girthy guy. I think it's the GGs. It's got the alliteration.
I don't think that's the word that you want to use, but we're going to move right along from that, Ben. We'll move right along, again, from Gillespie into the brand new, the very first time that we've saw him in a Toronto Raptors uniform, and he is a native Canadian, a Montreal native, Khem Birch. He went out there. I'm going to give my summary of tonight's game. Ben obviously didn't watch as much of this one. He's still in the middle of exam mode, just grinding, getting those assignments out. I watched the whole game. Ben said, hey, how did he do? And I said, pull up his box score. That's probably as good as he did. He didn't do anything to significantly impress. That's what I would say. He grabbed a couple of rebounds. They looked for him a couple of times. Nothing that would blow you away, and obviously nothing that would convert to like a dominant win against the Knicks. I still thought the best center out there tonight was Nerlens Noel on the court. So take it as you will.
Yeah, for sure. And we have another super chat right there from Candace Major. $7. Shout out the $7 super chat there. Super chats have been wild on this pod. They were crazy in the last one. Balloons are still going, but no comment. Just a super chat. Appreciate it. We appreciate the love. But yeah, Khem Birch, I didn't get to see. I had the game on in the background, muted behind thousands of tabs. Caught the full last 5 minutes of it though. But Khem Birch, he's a guy. He's long. He blocks shots in theory, but he lived right up to his box score tonight. We made the joke when we dropped the video on him specifically, saying how Aaron Baines comes in, the insurance pile. Oh my goodness, the insurance pylon. Wrong buttons going all over the place. He averaged about 5 and 5, and Khem Birch is slotting right into those minutes. No Aaron Baines. DNP coach's decision tonight. Gillespie and Birch got those minutes, and Khem Birch filled exactly those stats in his Raptors debut. Really the first guy that's a Canadian that seemed to really want to come back to the team, so lots of love for him. I'm hoping he does well. And Riker, from what you saw, do you think he could be a solid backup center for going forward next season?
Khem Birch?
Yep.
I think so. I think based just on what we saw in Little Flash, obviously a bunch of new super comments just rolled in, but based on what we saw is he has the size to be a true NBA big, right? He can probably match up the best on this roster against a guy like Joel Embiid. Not to say that his defensive acumen would be able to match up against the offensive prowess that is Joel Embiid, but at least he would not be dominated physically. That's what I took away from this game. People are saying in the comments, he was all right. That was my assessment of this one too. But it is a breath of fresh air to have a true NBA big. And so they're flowing in, Ben. Let's break them down.
Someone said I want to quickly Walmart Achua. It's an excuse to throw in the Masai Ujiri. We haven't had the Walmart Raptors segment. I thought that was pretty jokes, because Precious Achiuwa is obviously a guy people wanted. The Walmart had his back, but before you dive into more Walmart takes with that, as you said, we got a couple of Super Chat. Peasant Plays back in the Super Chat right now. In all seriousness, Flynn may have missed a few threes when we needed them, but I love how he had, he was able to take them. Right, we keep the podcast PG.
Paraphrasing.
Right, but Flynn's sanity. The box score wasn't that great tonight, but I just love his feel for the game. Down the stretch of this one, I did catch most of the fourth quarter. Right, he does look like a guy that's confident, driving the lane, running an offense, and with Kyle Lowry out there, that's a lot of pressure, so to speak. Right, getting these guys going, and the team seems like they trust him. So Flynn's sanity. It happened against New York. You watched it all. Have you changed your take on Flynn's sanity, Ryker? Oh no!
I had to go and pull out. There is so much dust on this cap, Ben. It is covered in dust. This hat is ancient, but it's been 11 games since the Raptors have lost in Madison Square Garden. It's been a long time since the Knicks have been good, and again, I broke down how Jeremy Lin deserved that nickname. So Malachi Flynn, he's been fantastic, right? In the starting role, he is being a reprised NBA player, but he ain't there yet. So this hat doesn't even fit. It's so small. That's it.
I love the style. Are the Knicks going to be your team if we go into the playoffs or the Raptors don't make it? You going back on the bandwagon?
In the East. All my teams would be in the West. You got to cheer for Portland with Norman Powell. You got to cheer for Denver just with them being awesome. Mm-hmm. But I just remember the comment at the very beginning. They said, RJ Barrett should be ashamed of himself for turning his back against his home country and hitting that dagger three. This is my left-hand shot for him because he's a lefty.
People roast us for our forms on the screen. And guys, we're trying to keep it within these boxes. We got nice crispy forms in real life, but... we'll talk about RJ Barrett a bit, but we did have a couple super chats we missed. I'm going to keep playing those animations because you guys are the goats to bring those in. But Pascal Siakam's been struggling, but I say we give him an actual offseason to with an actual home crowd and tank the season right now. Leave a like. He's saying leave a like. Shout out Arco for the $5 super chat. Doing our job for us. Road to 20K subscribers, right? The animation, do that. It's popping up, but tell your friends. We're gonna play a game of one-on-one when that happens. So shout out Arco for telling people to get into the like section. You got some hand motions going on there.
I'm trying to make an E, and this might be an E.
Yeah.
E for energy, and that's the reason that he got paid his contract.
Yep.
That's the reason he's a $120 million man. It's because he found a way in the NBA to just run the floor and make transition layups and dunks. And the crowd loved it, and the fans loved it, and that energized him to run even faster and get more fast break layups, right? And if you simplify his game down to just the pure basics, that he was literally just a fast break energy guy, that's fine. If that's what he is, that's what he is. But it's very hard to be that guy when there's no fans, right? You have to find that within yourself, and you're already getting paid. It's not a championship season. So what are you running for? You're running for the fans. So I agree with Arco.
Yep.
Give him one more chance before you write him off.
Yeah. And he was great pre-bubble, right? It was that season or that stretch where he said he didn't touch a basketball, came back in the bubble out of shape and all that, and it was just messy. But and then this season he's gotten back into form, and then he went out with health and safety protocols. It's just been such a wild year for Siakam. You can't bail on the guy right now. But Donald Fagan, I think, says he donated $420, so appreciate it. Love the super chats out there. We won't promote anything wild on the pod, but Nisha Seth back with another super chat, playing these animations left, right, and center tonight. But I've never seen a guy rely more on the crowd than Siakam. And honestly, as bad as that may be in terms of you're relying on something outside of the game or whatever, and you seem to be reacting some wild there, Ryker, but he's a guy that it's going to be a positive when we're back in Toronto, back in the home court, and that's a positive thing for this Toronto Raptors team because the Raptors are the best home fan base in the league. And we have another super chat.
Wait, was the last one of Pascal Siakam bashing? Is that what you're saying?
No, the last one was saying that he relies a lot on the fan bases and stuff.
Yeah. Well, so that kid Ski, I'm just reading through the comments, said, all caps, send Siakam to the G League. That's how low opinion is on Pascal Siakam.
We threw that in a thumbnail a couple months ago.
Did you? You've been trolling. Shaq Asmo died 2011. Shaq and a fool to Masai for giving Siakam a max deal. The hate has been rampant.
Slander. Stop the slander. I think we've gotten people to chill on the Aaron Baines slander. Siakam, he's a cool guy. He'll bounce back. He'll be good with fans. But Gamer Boy Devin has a take and came in with a $10 super chat. So shout out Gamer Boy Devin saying, I really think a starting five of Fred VanVleet, Gary Trent Jr., OG Siakam, and a real center can have a really good year next season. Back in Toronto proper. Siakam doesn't need to be clutch guy for us. Completely agree with that sentiment, and especially if we draft someone nice or maybe make a couple moves to retool the roster. Ryker and I are on the same board. Even though we're breaking out the kazoos this season, we're going to be back into contention next year with that lineup, and he's bringing up the clutch factor, and Siakam obviously has not been that guy for us this season, but Gary Trent Jr. seems to be that guy, Ryker, so do we even need a superstar, so to speak, if Gary Trent Jr. could be a closer for us down the stretch of games and Siakam and Fred and these guys can sort of carry us throughout?
You knows, Ben. You knows. Here's the thing. What are we looking at Siakam down the stretch for? Why are you asking him to hit pull-up jumpers? Why are you not looking at Gary Trent Jr.?
Well, Siakam had an open layup, and he was looking at Gary Trent Jr., and it was a tough decision. Open layup or contested three for Trent?
That wasn't the decision. It was, should we try and score, or should we tank? That was the decision. I'm going to wake my mom up. Poor woman. She went to bed early this evening. My point is, Gamer Boy Devin, you are absolutely correct. And that's why Ben and I have such optimism that a tanking season is not the end of the world for the Raptors. They get one more piece to add to the core that's already there. It's already solid. And just stop making Pascal Siakam the closer. Make Fred the closer. Make Gary Trent Jr. the closer is the logical move. Make OG the closer. But don't give Siakam his fifth chance. He's now over 3 and 1 double dribble. Don't give him his fifth chance to try and win a game.
Keep giving him chances this season, Ryker. I don't know if you...
next season.
Lowry knows. No, this season, give him the chances. See if he can come into form. Sacrifice these games. Let him get back. Because honestly, he was kind of clutch for this team pre-bubble. Pre-bubble, he had a bunch of games last year where he played well down the stretch. Scored against the Kings, the Warriors. Obviously in the NBA Finals, that Game 6 game winner that sealed the deal for an NBA championship. So he's been a guy that has been clutch in the past. It's a mental block right now. But not Donald Fagan. He came back and said candy bars and Doritos. Quality meals. That's a super chat right there. But
we missed one too before. Pleasant Plays says we need to rebuild the bench mob. Well, I'll tell you what. We've already got a good start with Malachi Flynn.
Yep.
Chris Boucher.
Yep.
Khem Birch.
And then
we just need 2 more pieces.
One of the Clamp Bros. The Clamp trio we have. Bembry, Stanley, or Utah?
Utah's looked really good over the past 2 games. Bembry, he's trying his best out there. So we'll get there. Have patience.
Well, Ryker, maybe perhaps there's a slot for a 1 and 2 guards on the deep bench for the Toronto Raptors. And honestly, we'll plug it again. Ryker and I, on the road to 20K subscribers. When we get to 20K... We got to make a hype video one of these days. Switch up this animation because we're going to play one-on-one. You'll see the ball skills from us. And it's going to be fire. It's going to be well edited. Certainly the skills are there, but I don't know.
That's really good. Can we make a 15-second promo rather than having that?
Well, what do you think we're doing at the Grindhouse this Friday?
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Let's make a little promo. But we'll jazz it up. We'll get all the special effects.
We'll get the juice, but... this team, we talked about Freddie, we talked about Birch. Hood came out 11 minutes. We haven't seen much of Hood, obviously. He's been injured since he came over, but what did you see from Rodney Hood tonight?
I saw from Rodney Hood, he made 1 3. There was a stretch where the Raptors were 18 down. They brought it all the way back to 9 up. First time in my life that I see a 3-pointer overturned after 3 or 4 plays. So Malachi Flynn hit a corner 3. 5-6 plays later, there was a timeout called. During the timeout, they went and reviewed it, called it off. I've never seen that before. It was mid-game, but I'll come back to Rodney Hood in a second. We got another super chat, Ben. Take us away.
We got another super chat. We got Baines, and we got this. There's the super chat. I gotta make sure the queue is cleared once I switch to our different animations. It's wild producing and talking, but super chat from Chris Chatley saying, could we trade Siakam for a quality center? And Ryker, say hi to your mom for me, for Chris. So you'll have to say hi to her tomorrow, I guess.
Yes.
Because she is asleep, assuming we don't wake her up on this podcast. But could we trade him for a quality center? Is there anyone out there you think we could potentially get?
Well, this is perfect. So let me give, again, I'm going to circle back to my quick synopsis on Rodney Hood. He was a participant in that bench unit that brought the team from 18 down to 9 up. Yep. And Rodney Hood hit a 3. I think that was his only 3 of the entire game. Might have been his only points of the entire game. That is correct. But he just has size out there. It looks like he could be a good defender if he wanted to. Tonight wasn't his night, but he's coming off a lot of injuries. He's coming off a lot of different issues with roles. So I think that we might see him get a little bit better as the season goes. But Ben, I'd be shocked if we re-signed him or if we picked up his option at the end of this season.
Really?
I would.
Interesting, because he could be a good player if healthy. And just to circle back to something,
but $10 million.
If we're not getting anyone else, I don't mind it. I think he's better than some regular wing off the lower end tier of free agent wings out there. And he's already with the system, and he's a guy that it would be buy low right now. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see. I think the last stretch of games this year will be very telling for that. And just to build off a point we talked about earlier before we had a wave of super chats, and this will answer a super chat, trading him for a center, Ryker. I'll throw it out on this pod. We don't need to save it. But Bleacher Report said Siakam, Boucher for James Wiseman, who just tore his meniscus, and Andrew Wiggins with his max contract. You taking that deal?
I would consider that deal.
Woo!
And this is obviously, we're well past the trade deadline here now, so this would be an off-season trade. Yes.
With no Timberwolves pick.
And let me explain to you why. But first, let me pull up the Warriors payroll, because we're saying max contract as if Andrew Wiggins just got a 5-year max, but I believe he only has 3 years left, maybe only 2 years left. I'm about to be proven extremely wrong. He has 2 more years left after this season. So it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. You're basically swapping max contracts. Pascal Siakam for Andrew Wiggins.
Than Andrew Wiggins. Let's
not this season.
People are
you can't make that argument at all.
Yes, I can.
You can't make that argument at all. His stats are better. He's on a award-winning team. He's the second option on his team.
Siakam's stats are better.
No. Okay, I'm about to be proven way wrong, but okay. What do you think they are? What do you think Wiggins'
Siakam's averaging about 20 piece. Wiggins averaging 17. Not on very efficient shooting.
I bet you
he's a decent defender, but Siakam's been a natural defender. And the Warriors are only good when Steph Curry's on the court. Even with Andrew Wiggins in the roster for Golden State, they are one of the worst teams of all time, Ryker. All time. Right?
Not this year.
Yeah, without Curry. Without Curry on the court. They are brutal. I don't know what you're talking about. That is...
Yeah, but listen. You switch 1-for-1 Siakam and Wiggins. I doubt that Warriors team is going to improve very much. Okay, here's the thing. Pascal Siakam, 20 points. Andrew Wiggins, 18, right? So 2 points less. But Pascal Siakam, 28% from 3, 45% from the 2, or from overall field goal percentage, versus 38% from 3 and 47% from the field. So much more efficient. You were wrong about that. And now rebounds per game, it's 7 to Andrew Wiggins 5, so they're relatively close. And
Siakam's
now Pascal Siakam, he's a better facilitator, surprisingly.
And Siakam's a number one option on our team. Wiggins as the number one option was looked at as, from your words, Ryker, the worst player in the NBA. That's what you used to call him, as the number one option, right?
I will not deny
And Pascal Siakam as the number one option is certainly not living up to expectations. But again, for everything that's brought up, people are saying that we don't have fans, we don't have like the energy, the thing that really gets Siakam going. And as a number 2 guy, as a number 2 guy. You could pull up those stats as well for Siakam as a number 2 guy. Ridiculously efficient 3-point shooting. A guy last season made All NBA second team.
Actually, no. He's never had a 38% 3-point shooting.
No, I said 36. Season. Yeah, not as good as Wiggins.
In 2016.
Yeah, he's been a 35-36% shooter the past 2 years, not including this season. I don't know. I think it's people are on the hating bandwagon of Spicy P right now. 33.
But you're making it seem like I would consider this because of the Andrew Wiggins part. I was just using that as my like filler to say plus James Wiseman, who would obviously be the centerpiece of this type of deal.
But like, this is Wise. See, this is what happens, right? Siakam has a double dribble. We have we put it in the thumbnail, so all the haters on Siakam are out. And then you try to defend the guy with the comment section with everyone here. It's just not going to happen. But Siakam's better than Wiseman. He'll probably be better than Wiseman ever is. He's definitely better than Wiggins right now. And you don't sell low on a player. And Wiggins is buy high, right? He is buy high, right? You got the commerce degree, investment bank, and all that sort of stuff. You know not to sell low on Siakam. It'll be silly moves, silly stuff. But I don't know. I think it's a wild thing. But Ryker, we're going off the rails already, and we haven't even dived into the segments. So tonight, the spicy Pele of the day, and the spicy Pele, the animation's a lot longer than I always think it is, so I always have to talk a little bit longer there. But Ryker's got that flow going right there. It's brought to you by Tiger's Milk hot sauce. It's hot sauce. It's not milk.
It's actually Jungle Spice hot sauce. Tiger's Milk's like the parent company.
Yep.
Jungle Spice is the hot sauce.
Yep, exactly, right? We got the logo there just to make sure people aren't confused by the logo, because we have to keep reiterating that. But you can use promo code WeTheNorth to get 20% off your order at shoptigersmilk.com. Check it out because it's quality hot sauce. Roja Jungle Spice is what we've been promoting in here. Ryker's going to take a dab of it if you refrigerated the hot sauce this go around. But
it does not get refrigerated.
It does. This man,
it should.
It should. But it is what it is. Definitely check it out. Quality stuff. Peppers are from Peru, bottled in Toronto. You're just down in that from the bottle. You love to see it. No spoon today. But Ryker, it's spicy, it's good, it's delicious. But what was the spicy Pele of the day?
Oh, that's a good question, Ben, that I'm going to have to contemplate because it should have been prearranged. I'm hoping that in my rambling, I'm going to remember. But the fact
Could it be the double dribble that led us to a tank? In honor of the Kazoos, in honor of the tank season, it's got to go to Siakam playing 40 chess in this season, as he missed all those clutch shots early in the year, so we have a bad enough record at this point. And he's double dribbling now, not making it look too obvious, but you think you had one?
No, somebody in the comment section, MZKKAYE729, actually got the hot sauce. It's pretty good. Hey, shout out. It's actually really good. Not pretty good. It's fantastic. So good on you. And no, I don't have one. I feel like there was some dunks, that there were definitely some action-packed sequences. I was really impressed, like I said, with Malachi Flynn. That run, you look at the box score, inefficient, 6 points, nothing that really jumps out at you, but he was again the leader of that unit that brought the team back. Yeah, this is an unfortunate one that I didn't commit anything to memory, but Ben, we'll swing it in to the OGs. Not all plays can be the spicy Pele. Some nights, none of them apparently can be the spicy Pele. Some just make you say, oh, geez. Ben, I'm going to break out the sweater.
We got the sweater? You got it
we
close?
Got the sweater. It's close. It's right here. Right here.
I got the hoodie. You got the hoodie lined up in the back, but the OG sweater. Are we just going to give every segment to this double dribble? Because that's really the only play I saw.
Yes, we are absolutely. You've spoiled the DeMar Carroll Gold Star for us, Ben.
We're spoiling it. We're giving it all up. But anyways, we just flexed the merch, Ryker, so we may as well throw this out as well. design my apparel. Check out their website. Promo code, it's RAPS15. Is it, Riker?
It is RAPS15. Capital R, capital A, capital P, capital S, number 1, number 5.
Get 15% off any custom clothing because we got stuff coming. I teased it on the last podcast. Riker's been cooking up some stuff this weekend. I'll be helping out with the seasoning and the stirring once all my exams and not even exams. I'm not even worried about exams. Once all my assignments and papers are done. But we got some stuff coming for you guys. So if you like the merch, definitely stay tuned to the Raptors Digest. But finally, the infamous, the one, the only, Damari Carroll Gold Star Award. We already gave it out earlier in this pod. Can we get creative on this one here, Riker?
Can we get extra creative? It goes to NBA players double dribbling because I legitimately have watched every Raptors game this season. Well, I didn't watch last night's. I've watched almost every single one.
You were watching.
I do not remember a single.
You were celebrating. Yes. That you couldn't get on the pod. You couldn't contain yourself because it was a celebration of Gary Trent Jr.'s 44 points. But I'll let you continue.
Double dribbles, Ben. Double dribbles. It is one of the easiest concepts to learn how not to do. Shocking display, especially down the stretch, unless, of course, it was a blatant attempt to tank. Which, respect.
Mad respect to Siakam. It could go to Riker for flexing that Knicks hat on the podcast right now. We're probably going to see it more often as the tank continues, as the tank rolls out. But
actually, Bueno Kitty had a good one. There was like 4 separate rain delays because they were having a lot of rain in New York. And so Madison Square Garden is obviously one of the most expensive arenas in the
rain
NBA.
Delays?
And yeah, there was moisture on the floor. And so they wiped it off. They had to get somebody to go to the roof and inspect and see where it was coming from. They thought they had it cleared up. Then a little bit after, there was a spot on the floor again, more rain.
It's Madison Square Garden. Yeah. There just holes in the roof?
Yeah.
I don't know. That is tough. That is weird. But Riker, this pod, they've been getting really weird as of late. They've been getting wild. We're incorporating the chat. We like to keep it fun, so we may as well just dive right straight into it.
Please.
Woo! Beep, 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 beep. Beep, 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 beep. Beep, 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 beep. That's right. The final alarm has gone off, and that means we want to hear your guys' takes in the chat below. Bueno Kitty says the spicy kazoo, and we'll throw this segment on as well. The kazoos, because Riker, have you come around on the kazoos? Because it's You're not about the kazoo life. You're about the tanks, but you're not about the kazoos.
I'm about the tank. I'm not about the kazoos. Kish, BK, Chuck Hayes.
Oh my God! Did I have the alarm sound on in that alarm? Did we have double?
I think you might have. Oh my goodness!
We had double the noise going.
Wow.
My apologies to you guys. I had it on. Someone in the super chat called for the alarm on the last vid. The animations have been wild tonight. I apologize for that, but you know, you live and you learn.
Oh my goodness. Well then, it is the final 2 minutes. We'll say this. Actually, there's a question. I don't need to say it. Raptors Digest, y'all think Siakam being from West Africa played a factor into Masai giving him a max? Absolutely not. That literally has no bearing on anything. Obviously, Masai Ujiri does an amazing job with international basketball in Africa, specifically with his Giants of Africa program, and he's done a lot of activism and stuff. He's a real one, for sure. And it's great to see Pascal Siakam and international players come from all around the world and Africa and thrive in the NBA. But obviously, area has nothing to do with the contract situation.
Yeah.
And
we have another super chat. Another super chat from Niche Seth. And Riker, you've been slacking on your subtle facts that you've been promised to drop, and I'm sure before this podcast will expires and times out, Niche, It'll happen. But we can't force them. They're safe little bunnies in the pod, but definitely got caught lacking on this pod, but yeah, it's a situation. Back in the DeMar days, this would have been a clutch win. That is certainly for sure. DeMar DeRozan, he was a clutch guy down the stretch. Maybe not in the playoffs at times, but it is what it is. Do you think Trent will re-sign? We have him on a restricted free agency. I think you and I talked about this over text last night. He's going to get paid. He's going to get paid big money. He turned down $15 million a year from the Portland Trail Blazers, and he liked it there. So I'm thinking it's probably going to be around 18 to 20 the way he's been performing for the Raptors, Ryker.
That would make a lot of sense, Ben. And let me tell you this. Let me tell you this one, Ben. He has had 3 seasons thus far in the NBA, which, if he was a WNBA player, do you know how many good seasons he would have left on average before he retires?
How many, Ryker?
Only 2 more. 5 seasons is the average career of a WNBA professional player. So we better re-sign him, even if it's at 20 mil, because he only has 2 years left in his prime by WNBA standards.
Facts will be facts. So are you saying $100 million over the course of the next 2 years, Ryker? Give him that contract.
Oh my, Ben. This is the thing. He's restricted free agent. The issue is not him walking. It's overpaying him and eating more into the cap space, having another Pascal sort of issue on your hands. So,
yeah, no, for sure. And about time, saying Siakam must be feeling the COVID effects. Probably, maybe it's the same thing that's going around with the Oklahoma City Thunder and the plantar fasciitis they have going around, and the sudden drops at the end of games when you just have to suddenly play kazoo and throw the ball out of bounds. Who knows what that situation is, but people are just, I don't even know what to think about this. People are all over the place. It seems more have embraced the tank, but what are your thoughts on it, Ryker? Are we going to get to that bottom 5 seed tier where ideally you'd want to be to get a bottom 4 pick?
I hate to say it, I don't think the Raptors are going to get there, Ben. Do you see it happening reasonably?
I don't know. I think the Raptors have subtly been about it, and we have such a tough schedule down the stretch. As I've said, a lot of Lakers, a lot of Clippers, a lot of Nets. Teams that are going to be jockeying for position in the Eastern and Western conferences. So I think the Raptors will be in a position where they're going to lose a bunch of games surely, and then the team has already been resting guys. I think they tried to drop that one to the Cavs yesterday, but they just ended up winning. They rested Siakam, who was on sort of a roll. So that's one thing there. But yeah, who do you think the Raptors are going to draft? It all depends on the draft pick that we specifically get. Evan Mobley would be the ideal guy to bring in. Obviously, Cade and Suggs are the 2 bigger names, but Mobley's a center. He's athletic. At least I've been peeping the draft guys a little bit, looking at their highlights and stuff as we get closer to the end. But yeah, we're about the most eloquent tank, Space Team Enterprise. So I like that. I like that rocking out. You got that sad look.
Yeah. It just sucks to see everybody hating on Pascal Siakam because it's hard to defend him.
Yes.
I get that. It's hard to defend his contract, and it's hard to defend the fact that he is, based on his contract, based on the current roster assembly, he is expected to be the number 1 option, and he very clearly isn't that. He isn't the type of player. Maybe in a season or 2 he could continue to develop and become that, but he clearly is not that right now. But he still has a role. He was still the second option on a championship team. There was no asterisks on it. It's no Mickey Mouse ring. It wasn't a COVID year. It was just a pure championship, hard-fought series against the 76ers, against the Bucks, against the Warriors. He was right there. And so people just are very quick to forget that, Ben.
Why have people been calling our ring the Mickey Mouse ring? I don't know. Like, I get the meme with LeBron and the bubble, even though it's not a Mickey Mouse ring, or I guess it technically is, but But why are people calling the Raptors ring a Mickey Mouse ring? I don't know. That's something that just always confused me. But I don't know. You're not on Twitter, are you, Riker? You don't have a burner or anything like that?
No.
I don't know. Basketball Twitter, it was prime back in the day. Now it's just burner Kevin Durant and LeBron accounts and MJ's Goats accounts saying Mickey Mouse ring and how much help do people need. It's a tough place Twitter has become. Now you just gotta ditch there and come into the Raptors Digest comment section because it's the spot to be. Anyways, people are saying you're tired, Riker. Tonight,
we're both tired.
I'm struggling to keep those eyes open. So
you had a big $70 super chat. I thought that I might get to witness such a thing, but I guess when you're leading the solo, there's just more enthusiasm in the comment section. So
Riker,
at least let's try to make it 100 before we close this out. Then we're at 96.
We're at 96. Like, what you gotta do? Learning from experience. You gotta hit him with the like spike chant. We're on that like spike for that energy because, you know, that's a that worked last go around. I got a career high, Riker. I gotta flex this. People were saying I gotta flex this on the solo pod on a Saturday night versus the Cavs. Got the career high in likes for a live stream. Career high in super chat. Yo, I got the hoodie on. I can't flex the muscles till the game, but it's a.
I'm giving you this OGs, Ben.
Yo.
I'm giving you it for being a showboat. I'm giving you the Damari Carroll.
You know, I'm out here ready to flex. We gotta get those animations, those hype segments ready. And while the like spike happens, like spike. While that happens, right? I'm gonna throw on the road to 20k subscribe. But Nisha Seth keeps coming out with the fire tonight, saying you guys are awesome, keep it up. We really appreciate it. It's we love the super chats. I gotta add everyone, the new ones, to the super chat animation. But yeah, Ben dropped a 350 like spike on the last podcast.
Ben, did you?
Wow. 350. You know, it was a moment in Raptors Digest history. But you just flexed the gun, so I gotta come back to the fire. Do you see Josh post on the IG? He's been rocking he had the jersey on there. You know when you purposely rock a jersey to a party to flex those guns? He had those on the IG goat. It was a good look.
He's got the new haircut too.
Get the fresh cut, bro. Do I get the haircut?
Not at this point.
Not committed. At this point.
But we've soared. We've flown past.
The like spike worked?
The like spike worked. We're at 121. So
I'm tripping. Do I end the pod like this, right here?
Yeah, you just end it like this. Christian Meneses.
With
Meneses says, I'm depressed. I'm not depressed. I support my cohort, Ben, but I'll have to rock a single and see if we can get even more enthusiasm in the like section. I can't be having Ben holding this over me, saying that he is able to, on his own, get 350. So I'm going to need everybody to just be mentally prepared, ready to click the like section when I run my own song.
I got the animations. Little do they know, I'm the producer here. I can get the balloons going for me. All of... No, what is it? What did Kobe say? I don't even know. I'm trying to break out these codes, but... Oh my god, Raptors boy said 1v1 Ben versus Ryker. Loser goes bald. Hot no. We'll have to get Sean back for that if that occurs, but I don't know. It's the one-on-one's going to be a lot of fun. They're always heat. Do you have a comment you've locked in on?
No. I tried to pronounce Christian Meneses, and he said, don't pronounce it. You got it wrong.
You know, just like the Raptors, it's not about getting it right. It's about trying. And we're trying to tank. We struggle with that occasionally. And we struggle with all that. But on the next spot, someone shout out my mixtape. I've been plugging it because we don't have a video of us playing ball yet. Go to Ben Rogers on YouTube. You can see my highlight reel. Riker's got to post his highlight school tape just to get the hype going. Right, it's up there on YouTube if you search Ben Rogers Senior Basketball Mixtape. But I'm plugging that. I plugged my Instagram a bunch on the last. Got a couple of followers. Shout out you guys. But Riker, on the next pod, when we have energy, so that might not be this week, Perhaps Friday. Whenever we have our next amped up pod. We're going for 400 likes. We're going for 400 likes this upcoming weekend. We get a good game. We are going for 400 likes. You're getting the hats rocking. Oh my goodness. Triple the hats. Triple the likes. Yo, About Time is saying jungle hot sauce rules. Shout out the hot sauce. Man, Bueno Kitty's talking about my oh my god, I turned away from you. Added 2 more hats. Jeez. Man, I feel as if we've gone into an existential place in YouTube.
We can finish it off here. I'm okay with that.
We can certainly finish it off here. You guys are the best for making it this far. Check out the Twitter, the Instagram, all that cool stuff. The TikTok. I've been slacking on the TikTok. I've been slacking on all the social medias right now. Josh is doing a carry job on the Instagram right now, so shout out Josh. I just called him out for flexing the muscles, but he's been doing great on the IG and Twitter. RaptorsDigest.ca. There was a great article posted there recently. Really solid read about the Raptors, the new look Raptors. So definitely check that out. RaptorsDigest.ca. And yeah. 1:30 a.m. Riker. This is way past your bedtime. I was going to make a segment and surprise you with it, but I don't know. Do you have any last words on this majestic game here tonight?
I'll let the hats speak for themselves, Ben. That's it. Cheers.